During the horsepower free-for-all that was the 1960s, Detroit was the launching pad for factory drag racing teams that hammered the quarter mile with super stocks and factory experimentals loaded with big cube engines and stripped-down sedans. This class warfare was a major draw at the country's drag strips, and factory racers were constantly conjuring up more creative weaponry with which to do battle. West Coast racer Bill Maverick Golden and Chrysler cobbled together this idea in 1964 to heat up the factory rebellion. A blown 426 Hemi engine in a Dodge compact cab-forward pickup truck. But what started out as a serious race machine soon gave birth to one of drag racing's most popular novelty acts. The enormous horsepower and lack of weight over the nose resulted in bumper-scraping wheel stands. But rather than try to beat that phenomenon, Maverick and company figured they had the kind of drag racing sideshow act that would draw plenty of attention. The Wheelstander was born. Soon, the Hearst Hemi under glass, and such wild machinery as Hell on Wheels and Hell's Fire, based on U.S. Army tanks, were two-wheeling it down drag strips at racing speeds. Fire burnouts followed by 100-mile-per-hour wheel stands trailing a downpour of sparks, and side-by-side wheel stand races helped stuff grandstands each week at drag strips everywhere. Now, some 30 years later, the Wheelstanders are still doing their tail-happy thing. Here at Maple Grove Raceway in Reading, Pennsylvania at the Ford Motorsport Nationals, we were treated to the appearance of the latest incarnation of the notorious Hell on Wheels, driven by Joe Klenarchuk, and the equally popular wind-up pickup, piloted by Danny O'Day, who gave us a fascinating look at his sophisticated exhibition truck and what a new generation Wheelstander is all about.
We've got an exhibition Wheelstander here. It's a little Ford Ranger pickup, 1,200 horsepower blown alcohol motor in the back of it. And if you notice, it drives to a transmission that's above the differential, back to a gearbox, and then the shaft goes forward to the pinion, which is turned over backwards. Reason for this is to concentrate a lot of the weight in the back of the truck and make it possible for this thing to carry the front wheels the whole quarter mile. We got steering brakes on the back of it. It's very much similar to a tractor or bulldozer, except we're doing 140 miles an hour sometimes. Very unpredictable, very susceptible to the wind. We're looking through the floor. Vision is impaired somewhat by the grille and the front axle and so forth. But we look straight down the track, and you've got a good feeling for the movement of the vehicle, because as you sight through the grille, if it moves a little bit, you pick it up real quick. Several years ago, when I was racing for a hobby, this friend of mine is rather a clown, worked for me in my body shop. I ran a turbocharged 6-cylinder Ford, which was very quiet. The turbo makes the exhaust quiet. And just for a joke, he stuck a key on the back of the little station wagon and made it look like the key was what made it go. And I was kind of recognized with the key. When we built the truck, I was looking for a trick name, because people remember you for your gimmicks or whatever. So we stuck the key on, and naturally it's wind-up pickup. The wheelie bars have titanium blocks on the bottom. Number one, it's good for the show. The titanium is a very hard aircraft metal, and it sparks on the stones in the asphalt going down the track. At night, it's a spectacular show. With wheels on the wheelie bars, since it's such a short distance from the center of the axle back to the pads, wheels would be very squirrely. It would allow the car too free a movement. The skid plates act like a rudder and actually help hold the vehicle straight. Every run is different. You don't know what's going to happen. You spin a tire a little bit, and all of a sudden you see more guardrail than asphalt. You've got to be quick. You got to be real quick. It makes your heart pound. I've been doing this for 10 years, and it's still very exciting. It's not like a ride in a normal race car where a guy has to go faster and faster every year to feed his need for adrenaline. This thing will do it to you every time.
About the time we were visiting Maple Grove, Danny had already completed construction on his upcoming Wheelstander, which sounded very intriguing.
I have a new funny car with a very, very low center of gravity, a unique drivetrain that I designed myself. The car is a full second quicker in the quarter mile, which is a quantum leap, you know, in Wheelstander terms. And the car is very much safer than this.
What began as a simple attempt to outpower the competition evolved into one of the most remarkable attractions in all of motorsports, traveling the quarter mile on two wheels at close to 140 miles per hour. Let's face it, Wheelstanders have nowhere to go but up.